Here we go. I bet that's going to scream off in a minute.
Oh, hello, you.
I've never known it to be this quiet, to be honest.
And literally all 3 rods have gone off within the past 10 minutes.
Well, I've got a good feeling about tonight. I reckon we're going to get some action. No idea who that is. We are on the mighty River Trent. We're on my favourite section, and the peg we're fishing is the bridge swim. This is a swim I've never fished before. It is quite popular, produces quite a few fish. This top end produces quite a few of the smaller ones, and I fancied a bit of a change. I haven't been up this top end for probably a year, maybe a year and a half, so I thought I'd give it a go. It's been raining for about 14 hours solid, and as you can see, it's slowly brightening up a touch, but we have got showers tonight, and we've got showers this afternoon, so conditions aren't too bad for getting a barbel. So I'm going to be fishing 2 rods on here. It looks nice. There's a little bit of pace to the river, not too much. It's still fairly low and clear, but in general, I'd be confident for a few fish this session. So on the second rod, same again, 4-foot up links, really simple. And the mix I'm actually using is just a straightforward pellet mix. I've got 2s, 4s, 6s and 8s with a smidge of ground bait in there, only a little bit, just to help it bind a bit. Like I said, the river's very low, very clear. But these fish will be moving around after the rain that we've had. Rain for a good 12, 14 hours. It's literally, over the past couple of hours, literally stopped. But we have got some coming tonight and later on. Well, I just spoke to the bailiff and that's a boat and a half. Looks like it's got a lawnmower engine on it. Nice. So I've just spoke to the bailiff and he says that there's the odd fish coming out. There is certain pegs on this stretch that produce quite a few, normally the top 4, but this one, I'm sure we'll get a couple. I'm going to go a little bit heavy on the bait in the next hour, maybe hour and a half, just give it a go. That boat is in a right state. Yeah, so we'll just give it a go, see what happens. I've come down on a whim with the weather. Like I said, it was hammering it down for about 12, 13 hours. So hopefully we can get some action here. We'll get the fish moving a little bit. The river is, there's the odd few anglers on. It's not absolutely rammed like it will be at a weekend. I never come down in the weekend, it's too busy for me. I like to come down beginning of the week or midweek for a 24-hour session. That's normally as long as I'll fish. Every now and again I might do a 2 or 3 dayer. If the weather's looking really nice, that's normally October to sort of November time. But looking at it, we do look like we're going to get a little bit of rain, which is what I've really come down for. And we're going to get some showers tonight as well. But the river, looking at it at the moment, doesn't look too bad. I know it's low and clear and it's not the best conditions, but bailiff said the odd fish is coming out. This swim is renowned for producing quite a few small ones. Not many big ones, if I'm honest, but we'll give it a bash and see what happens. So I'm going to get a little bit of bait out on both spots. I'm thinking just before the mid-channel on the right-hand rod, and then the middle rod, mid-channel near the bridge, and go from there. Not going to be too accurate. Just want to get a little bit of bait out there for later on this evening if today's going to be fairly quiet. So the river's sort of very shallow at the moment. All right, let's crack on with the right-hand side. Like I said, I don't want to go too far out, because sometimes the boats can come really close in, especially this time of day, and they can wipe you out. Well, at the moment it is fairly quiet. There's nothing showing at all, not even bream. As you can see, it's nice and overcast. I think we might get a bit of rain in the next couple of hours. It's a bit of a sad day. Ozzy Osbourne's died. It was his funeral a couple of hours ago, so I was just watching a bit of that. I do like Ozzy Osbourne. I've been playing guitar for probably the best part of 20 odd years, so I've just killed a bit of time watching his funeral while I wait for these rods to go off. I'm thinking bites are going to be this evening, to be honest. And I'm hoping that we get plenty of rain tonight. It's a make life difficult for doing a bit of filming, but I think that's when we're going to be getting some action. There's quite a lot of small fry coming through these margins. I've noticed there was a decent sized pike slowly come along here and go around this sort of snag, this tree line here. But as you can see, the water it's like tap water, absolutely gin clear. You see all these little fry coming through here. There's been loads of perch coming all the way along. There's like a nice slow drop off here, and it drops down to about 7-8 foot just there. But at the moment it is very quiet. I think I might get a third rod out in this margin line, because I've got the other two areas covered. Yeah, so you've got, I don't know, 6.5 foot. I mean, that's perfect. That's nice and clear, there's no snags. I'll just put a scattering of 8mm pellets and then go from there, see what happens. I'm not going to go too mad, just in case it ends up being a bit of a waste of time, but you never really know. Just a little bit of bait, that'll do. That's perfect. Well, we'll come up to about 7 o'clock. We've got, I'd probably say, a couple of hours before in the witching hour. It has been very quiet. In all the time I've done on this section, I've never known it to be this quiet, to be honest. So I'm going to go for, I know I said I wasn't going to do a recast, but we are getting the odd niggle on the rod. I'm guessing there's a few roach and small fish going for the pellet that I put out there, so I just want to make sure I've got bait in the swim. Yeah, got a little bit of weed on that rig, but other than that, everything's fine. It's just waiting for the fish to come through. Well, we are in the witching hour. Everything is laid to rest. It's a beautiful evening on the mighty Trent. Although the fishing's been quiet today, I'm hoping that tonight we can get a few in the bag. But the section isn't overly busy. Normally on here, it's literally bumper to bumper. And as you can see, there's a few motors down there, and then you get to the top 4 pegs, which produce, I mean, it's pretty much fishy chalk. If you play it right, you can get so many fish in. Me personally, I'd get bored of it. That's why I tend to come down the bottom end out of the way of everyone. So we've got a nice bit of space here, no one's next to me. And it is a joy. On the other side of the bridge, I don't think anyone's fishing there, so I've got a nice bit of water to myself. I haven't got people literally 20 yards away from me. Yep, bridge is nice and clear. You've got a few chaps fishing just down there, so all in all, I've got a nice spacious bit of water. So the question is, will tonight be the one where we get a few? Well, good morning. And we've come to about, what time is it? It's 10 minutes to 4. And literally all 3 rods have gone off within the past, I'd probably say 10 minutes. Literally there must have been a massive shoal of bream coming, and it's literally took all 3 rods. So I've had to get some fresh rigs on and just make a few bits up. Right, I'll start with this margin rod. I'm so surprised at that middle rod had a bream on. It was absolutely screaming off. Right, same again, just in this margin. Midges are an absolute pain in the backside. Right, come on, at least have 1 fish before we go.
It just goes to show the river at the moment on this particular section is not the best.
Well, we're coming up to, I think, about 8 o'clock. No idea who that is. And yeah, we're going to be getting a recast going in a minute. I couldn't be bothered earlier on. I'll leave the rods just in case. And I've literally just bumped into a couple of young lads who have come barbel fishing for the first time. And they said that they've been watching my videos. And they were going to fish here, further up from me. And I says, don't bother, you're wasting your time, because obviously I've blanked. Well, I've had a couple of bream, but it's been a blank on the barbel front. I says, go down to the bottom end, because in hindsight, I should have gone down there. I always go down there, and it always does the business. And they're not bad sized barbel, to be honest. I mean, this time of year, it's always going to be a miss. If the river was up 3 or 4 foot, I'd be expecting to get a few big ones down there, but I spoke to a couple of lads who left about an hour and a half ago, and they had nothing through it the night. So, yeah, unfortunately, it's just one of them things. And this is what you face. Last year was exactly the same. I think I did about 3 or 4 sessions on here and caught absolutely nothing, just blanked. And that's why I didn't do huge amounts of barbel fishing last year. The weather's such a pain. If you get it lucky and you can get in the top 4 pegs, you'll be filling your boots left, right and centre. That's why when you look on the social media pages, you'll see certain anglers, they'll get like 15 fish in 24 hours. And it's all because of those pegs at the top. But it's a bit busy up there for me, to be honest. I like to have a little bit of space, you know, like I've got snags and trees all next to me so nobody can fish there. Obviously you could get an angler fishing here, but there's a bit more space further up for them to go to, so all in all it's not too bad. And this does produce fish most of the time, but you know, lesson learned, it's just one of them things, but at least I tried, that's the main thing. Yeah.
You look smaller in real life.
Oh, what?
You look smaller in real life.
Smaller? Well, I'm 6'4". I thought you were going to fish here a minute ago.
Yeah, but my brothers don't. Well, my brother don't like steep banking, so he went further down.
Yeah, I've been on my arse about twice down here. Where I'd go personally, because I never normally fish this peg. I'm always down there normally. Follow it down, and you'll come to the first bend. If you can get anywhere around there, yeah. So either a few hundred yards up from the bend, then you'll come to the bend, and a few hundred yards further down, try that area. Yeah, well, I'd stagger your rods, so I'd have margins, mid-channel, and just keep pub chucking them around, and then if you can pick a fish up, just get them all there, you know what I mean? But at the moment, I'm so surprised we didn't have anything. I got here yesterday about 11 o'clock. You know all that rain we had yesterday? I thought this is going to be bang on for a bite. Yeah, but you know, because the grounds are dry, it's just sucking the water up, it's not running into the... No, it's a right pain in the arse. So, well, we've come to the end of the session. Bit of a blank on the barbel front, a couple of bream, but yeah, I haven't done a blank on here for quite some time. So, where we go next, I'm not too sure. The barbel fishing's not the best, if I'm honest. So, I don't know what venue to go to, where to try, but I'm sure I'll pull something out of the bag. The amount of people I've actually spoke to this morning is unreal. Loads of subscribers coming through, and I just said to them, don't fish where I am because I'm catching nothing, get up the bottom end. That's where I normally fish, near the bend, and that normally does the business for me, but I thought I'd try it on a whim, just come down here, give it a go. So yeah, that's the end of the video. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one.